ubani isikoko obengaqala hlase empi yamasoja empi yamagerela ubani isikoko obengaqala hlase ebathi phakamisa usebe phakamisa inobolo ubani isikoko ebengaqala hlase ebathi phakamisa usebe phakamisa inombolo ubani isikoko obengaqala hlase impi yamasoja impi yamagerela ubani isikoko obengaqala hlase ebathi impi yamasoja impi yamagerela ubani isikoko obengaqala hlase ebathi phakamisa usebe.
Okay. Now, what we are now going to do, colleagues, see, because of these lights, I can't see properly. Is South here? South. Oh, yeah, thought as much. No, Bala, you should have been sitting somewhere here. You know, when you sit at the back, no one really sees. That logic that students or learners that sit at the back are not very smart. Now, I used to sit at the back now. Now, what we are going to do is that because of time, no Bala, I will request, I know South, when they give messages of support, they have around 98 slides of presentations. So because of time, I'll ask that you limit your message of support just to 5 minutes. Né? So without any waste of time, colleagues, please allow me to call Secretary General of ISAUS. Do you know what SAUS is, Mosna? Yeah. To the podium. Please make her way. Let's give her a good round of applause. Mdu, unobhala uthi ucela umculele. Start the same song.
Impi yamasoja impi yamagerela ubani isikoko obengaqala hlase ebathi impi yamasoja impi yamagerela ubani isikoko obengaqala hlase ebathi phakamisa usebe phakamisa inombolo ubani isikoko ebathi phakamisa usebe phakamisa inombolo ubani isikoko
Ngibonge mdu. Ngibonge facilitator. Igama uNhlonipho kaNxumalo, the Secretary General of the South African Union of Students, a sister organization of SATVETSA. I would like to stand on the protocol that has already been observed. The Minister, the Acting DG, in absentia. I do want to say that we see the strides that are being made by the Acting DG to ensure that there is collaboration in terms of the sitters, because we've been seeing that sitters are reported to be returning billions to the national treasury. However, we do hope that through this collaboration, if we strengthen them, we will not have sitters that are underutilizing their funds. Their funds will be directed to the rightful people, which is the young people of South Africa. I also want to greet the leadership of SATVETSA and commend the work that is being done. I commend the high level of discipline from the SRC delegates and the leadership. I have never seen such a thing, and I think we will benchmark, because at 9 delegates were seated, which is something that is highly commendable. I would also like to say to the leadership of SATVETSA, this conference is quite a critical conference on the basis that we've seen over the years that there's been cutting of funding for certain programs. And I believe that it is because obviously the department is trying to align what the market demands with what the universities and the TVETs are producing. However, if you just cut the funding, it has an adverse effect because it affects the students. Because if now a student is studying a certain degree and the funding, NSFAS funding for that degree is cut, it affects the students. However, if we do have such engagements where we say we want our TVETs to produce qualifications that are aligned with the market, then it becomes very critical, because now we're addressing the problem at root level, not just at the cosmetic level where we have the potential of affecting our students. I also do want to say that the TVET sector is the future of this economy. And in this conference, you must deliberate on how we increase access. When we were at the portfolio committee just this month or late last month, it was reported that there is over 850,000 matriculants this year, just this year alone, with universities only offering 235K spaces, TVETs offering 170K spaces, and the CET, which are your private colleges, offering 130 spaces. So in total, we only have spaces for 265 matriculants. What is going to happen to the other, to the difference from the 856,000? So in this conference, I would like us to also deliberate on how we increase access to ensure that a large number of those matriculants that are going to matriculate and obtain their qualifications, their bachelor passes, their diplomas, their higher certificates, do have access to institutions of higher learning. Because it is unfair that so much of young people next year are going to be stranded. And we must take into consideration that the poor, the children of the poor and the working class cannot afford these CET colleges. And therefore, they need to be accommodated in our TVET sector. They need to be accommodated in our universities. I do want to say that this conference is quite a critical conference to align and ensure that young people, when they leave universities, the TVET sector, they are employable. They can go and start their own businesses. So with that being said, I do want to wish you fruitful conversations and engagements, and I highly commend the stakeholder relations that you guys have, and we do hope that you keep that and you strengthen that. Thank you.
Uh-uh. Let's properly. Thank you so much, Nopal. Now, I'm already told that we are very running behind, and people of this venue want us to make time for lunch because they have multiple things. I'm not trying to cut you, Nondaba, because I think you'll speak longer than the 5 minutes allocated. But please allow me to call on stage the Secretary General of TVETSA CGC. So I'm not sure who is what, whether SATVETSA belongs to TVETSA CGC or TVETSA CGC is SATVETSA. But all I know is that we are all part of TVET governance structures. So let's welcome Mr. Zondi Unondaba with a good round of applause.
Sanibonani. Ninjani? Yeah, siyaphila nathi. Maybe before I go to my prepared speech, I see Mr. Sondo was already pre-warning me before I got to the podium, saying that I'm given an allocated time, which I appreciate. Just two things that I want to say before I go to my prepared speech. SATVETSA is part of governors. Equally, principals. SACPO is also part of governors. And the reason for that is because the act that prevails over the sector recognizes students as part of governance. It recognizes principals as part of governance. So we are the umbrella body, Babu Motapo, we're the umbrella body of everyone, including SACPO. My wish is at some point, as the sector evolves, Mr. Msipa, that we have one structure, by the way, that represents everybody from a sector perspective. So that is my wish. It's not so now, but of course, as the sector evolves and all of that, things have a way of finding gaps to fill. Zwide, Secretary of South, before I go to my speech, I want to give you a bit of history. So we founded SAUS. I'm a founder member of SAUS in 2005. I actually hosted it in Cape Town. I was an SRC president myself. Founded it. It was myself, Floyd Chivambu, Terayako, Kupelo Pasha. There's a fellow from NMU, Mabandla, Semi Mashita, David Maimela. Anyways, I forget Sibia, who was the inaugural president, in fact, of SAUS. So we founded SAUS. So I'm quite happy to see you, to see SAUS actually speaking. We founded it. I actually hosted it in Cape Town. I was, at the time, I was a leader in Cape Town of, I led multiple political formations. I'm apolitical now. I don't belong to any political party now, but at the time, I was a senior leader of SASCO nationally, and at the time, a provincial executive member of the ANC Youth League. But I'm apolitical now. So I thought, let me say that, because I'm happy to see that SAUS is still existing. Now to my prepared speech. Program Director, the Minister of Higher Education and Training, Honorable Puti Manamela, SETA CEOs that are here this morning, and senior executives. I saw my SETA is here. I'm a board member of a SETA. I saw my SETA. I think they were speaking here earlier on. Oh, there they are. Footbed SETA. I see you. How are you? President and leaders of SATVETSA, South leadership, college SRCs from across our nation, principals that are here this morning, industry partners, esteemed dignitaries, colleagues, and friends. It is a profound honor to address this year's SATVETSA Academic Conference on behalf of the Technical and Vocational Education and Training College Governors Council. This gathering comes at a pivotal moment for our sector, one defined by transition, renewal, and collective responsibility to shape a future of work that is inclusive, equitable, and economically transformative. We meet at a time when the TVET system is undergoing the most significant curriculum transition in decades, the shift from native programs to occupational programs. Is not simply a technical adjustment, it is a national imperative. It calls for deeper partnerships between colleges, SETAs, and industry and communities. It demands that we bridge the gap between what we teach and what the labor market requires. And it challenges us to prepare young people not only to seek jobs, but also to create them. In this context, the TVET CGC has declared, Mr. Msipa, Dr. Mutapo, in this context, the TVET CGC has declared the coming period the decade of the employer. Now, we are having a strategic plan in January, Zwide. We've just come from the decade of the artisan. We are now declaring the next decade, the decade of the employer. So everything we do as the TVET CGC will be focused on the employer. So this is it's a soft launch. So when you see us running employer programs, you must recall that the SG of TVET CGC did a soft launch at this conference of SATVETSA. This initiative recognizes a truth we can no longer avoid. Without employers, without industry partners, without workplaces ready to absorb and mentor our students, our reforms cannot succeed. The decade of the employer is our rallying call for a new compact where SETAs and industries become active architects of skills development. Under this program, we will work with all 50 TVET colleges to host local employer outreach engagements every year. These engagements will culminate in an annual national event celebrating the top employers who open their doors to our students and graduates. Our commitment is to build a skills pipeline for a working South Africa, one that is responsive to the needs of the real economy. But we also know that our nation's unemployment crisis requires more than workplace placements. It also requires innovation, self-reliance, and entrepreneurship. That is why we are also prioritizing the establishment of entrepreneurship hubs across the TVET system. These hubs will nurture student-led enterprises, incubate small businesses, and create a culture where young people see themselves not only as job seekers, but also as job creators. This is aligned with our national vision for building a dynamic, inclusive small business ecosystem within the TVET sector. Another key pillar of our developmental agenda is our responsible gambling program. I was invited several weeks ago where I gave a keynote at the Responsible Gambling Summit. And it's one of our very exciting programs that we've achieved as the TVET CGC. So we seek to expand campus life and student services. As we expand campus life and student services, we must also safeguard the well-being of our students. Gambling-related harm is an emerging social challenge for young people. And through this program, implemented with our key partners, we aim to promote awareness, prevention, and healthy decision-making across colleges. Towards conclusion, colleagues, none of our ambitions can materialize without strong, well-supported institutions. This year, we marked a major milestone through our ICT infrastructure project, where we successfully rolled out 64 ICT hubs across all colleges. Our partnership ecosystem continues to expand. I'm pleased to highlight our ongoing project with the Services SETA, which is enabling capacity building, skills development initiatives, and structured collaboration with colleges. This is the type of partnership that embodies our vision for the decade of the employer, which is responsive, practical, and impactful. Just 2 weeks ago, we hosted a highly successful AGM and our third annual TVET CGC Charity Golf Day. We were humbled by the strong messages of support from the Deputy Minister of Human Settlements, Ms. Thandi Mahambe-Hlala, Deputy Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Mr. Zolile Burns-Ncamashi, Deputy Minister of Defense and Military Veterans, Mr. Bantu Holomisa, and our keynote speaker was Honorable Buti Manamela. Their participation affirmed that the TVET sector remains central to the country's development agenda. Looking ahead, the TVET CGC will convene its strategic planning session from 28 to 30 January 2026. This will be a landmark gathering, bringing together SETA leadership, industry leaders, government stakeholders, and student leadership from across the country. Our mission is clear. It is to co-create a unified strategy that positions the TVET sector as a leading driver of employment, entrepreneurship, and social transformation over the next decade. The challenges facing our country, which is youth employment, unemployment, inequality, a rapidly changing labor market, cannot be solved by government alone, nor by colleges alone. They require a coalition of partners who are willing to stand with us, innovate with us, and invest in the future with us. Today, I call on all SETAs, industries, and development partners to work with the TVET CGC and SATVETSA in charting this new path. Let us ignite a decade of opportunity for our young people. Let us use occupational programs, entrepreneurship initiatives, and sector partnerships as a catalyst for national renewal. And let us build a TVET system that delivers not only qualifications, but livelihoods. Not only programs, but possibilities. In closing, I wish to thank SATVETSA for convening this important academic platform and for its long ongoing commitment to student leadership and academic excellence. Together, we are building a future where the TVET sector stands tall as a powerhouse of skills, innovation, and national building. I appreciate your attention and I look forward to our continued partnership. And in closing, I'm done with the prepared speech. One last point I want to make is, because I'm very, Mr. Mteles, I'm very passionate about the sector. And I always say, and I address a number of platforms, Mr. Dladla Mkabaten. And I tell people, you know, every single thing that all of us seated here have done since waking up in the morning. So you woke up in the morning, you went to the bathroom, showered, you looked in the mirror, you opened a shower or you opened a bath, you went to the lavatory, every single thing that you've touched since waking up in the morning was built by an artisan. Driving here, you drove on a road built by an artisan. You drove over a bridge built by an artisan. You are sitting here, lamatafula lawala were built by artisans. The chairs that you are in were built by artisans. Lama computer no vulile, akiwe ama artisans. So economies are built by artisans. So that's why this sector is so crucially important, because artisans build economies. It's not degrees that build economies. Well, degrees may from a strategic planning perspective, but degrees don't build. What economy are you going to build with I got accused the last time when I said what I'm about to say. I almost said with gender studies master's degree. You're not going to build economies. So thank you very much. God bless. Have a successful conference.
Let's give him a good round of applause. I thought he stopped short of saying the time he's utilizing was built by an artisan. Yeah. So thank you so much, Nondab. You know, he's one person I know, he never listens when you say 5 minutes. His 5 minutes is 30 minutes. 30 minutes is 2 hours. So thank you so much. Colleagues, we are pressed for time because we are not the only ones that have been catered for by Beechwood. So I'm going to ask Kosaska that you finish exactly at 12, then we break for lunch. We'll come back at 1:45. No. Kosaska will, Kosaska will speak now. At 12, you finish. We break for lunch. Lunch that will be 45 minutes. So let's give the president of COSASCA. COSASCA stands for College, Sports, Arts and Culture. Let's give Mr. Mposula a good round of applause.
Program Director, let me first borrow from you and say we can do better. Allow me to first by acknowledging the Minister, Honorable Minister, Mr. Buti Manamela. I want to correct this. Allow me to first acknowledge the Honorable Minister, Mr. Buti Manamela. In his absentia, equally, allow me to recognize the President of SATVETSA, Ms. Gaugelo Chokwe, and the entire collective. I see we are also in our midst having leadership from TVET CGC, led here by Mr. Zondi, the Secretary General. We also acknowledge the presence of SACPO. Here led, I see the Secretary General, who I must be very kind to, because when I go back to my place of employment, he's also my principal, Dr. Motapo. We acknowledge you. I acknowledge all the SETA leadership, management, and board members present here today. Acknowledgement of leadership from NSFAS, senior managers of the department, ladies and gentlemen, and to our resilient student leaders, good morning. Mr. Sonti, I'm going to attempt that I wrap up before 12. And my prepared speech goes as follows. It is my honor on behalf of the College, Sports, Arts and Culture South Africa to extend our sincere message of support to SATVETSA Academic Transformative Conference. This gathering represents the very essence of what transformation should be: collaborative, student-centered, and future-driven. At COSAXA, we firmly uphold the belief that sports, arts, and culture are not side activities or optional extras in our colleges. They are foundational pillars of holistic student development. They shape the physical, emotional, social, and intellectual growth of young people. They teach discipline, teamwork, resilience, creativity, culture, leadership, wellness, and the confidence necessary for lifelong success. As the TVET sector continues to redefine its academic training mandate, it is crucial that we recognize the deep alignment between COSAXA activities and occupational programs. The sports field, the art studios, the cultural stage, and creative production spaces are all natural incubators for the very competencies demanded by today's industries. Competencies such as communication, innovation, collaboration, problem solving, and entrepreneurial thinking. This alignment has been central in our recent deliberations. At our recently held National Sports Indaba that we held, I think, a week ago, COSAXA engaged with sector stakeholders on how best to assist students transitioning from recreational and competitive activities into formal occupational programs. We explored pathways such as sport coaching, fitness instruction, sport management, arts administration, dance, music production, heritage practice, media, event coordination, and various creative industry fields. The message was clear. Our student natural talents are powerful economic assets when intentionally developed. It is with this commitment that COSAXA wants to lobby and persuade SATVETSA, equally the department, to integrate skills advancement programs, a structured initiative that will harness and refine the innate abilities of our students. This program should focus on develop talent in sports, arts, and culture through accredited skills modules, strengthen links with industry and workplace-based learning opportunities, equip students with entrepreneurial competencies to start their own ventures, provide alternative career pathways for students who excel outside conventional academic routes. Through this program, we aim to ensure that a student who excels in football, netball, dance, music, visual arts, esports, poetry, or cultural performance is not only celebrated, but guided into a viable professional pathway. Talent must be a doorway, not a dead end. We therefore applaud SATVETSA for creating a platform that centers academic transformation while acknowledging the holistic needs of the student. Your work strengthens the entire TVET ecosystem, and COSAXA stands ready to collaborate in expanding opportunities for our youth. Let us continue to build a sector where every student, whether academically gifted, artistically talented, athletically strong, or culturally rooted, finds a place, a purpose, and a pathway. Together, we are shaping not only skilled graduates, but well-rounded citizens who can lead, innovate, and contribute to South Africa's growth. COSAXA supports this conference wholeheartedly, Mr. Sonti, President Chokwe. May our shared vision continue to ignite transformation across our colleges. I thank you.
Okay, we can do better than that. Okay. So, Mr. Vele, Sagbo, COSASCA is saying they want an occupational program that is called sports management that will be offered by TVET colleges. Yeah, I hope, Mr. Mtapo, you listen to that. Nah? They want those occupational programs. I don't think they even know how or where to start, but they will need your guidance in that. Now, colleagues, the principal was saying that he has to travel and he promises to take only 3 minutes. I will extend it and give him 5 because me and him are very close. Ne? So let me now call the Secretary General of SAGPO, Dr. Mutapo, to come just briefly and give us. Let's do better than that.
Good morning. I will take 5 minutes. And it's not easy for an academic, a researcher, a pastime motivational speaker to take 5 minutes, but I'll do my best to do so. Protocol observed. I'm trying to save time. Distinguished guests and academics, CEO of CITAS, esteemed leadership of SATVETSA, DGT officials and college officials, I bring greetings from SAPCO. On behalf of the South African Public College Organization, I'm honored to deliver this message of support to SATVETSA as you convene yet another influential academic conference that advances the knowledge and excellence within the TVET sector. This year's gathering takes place at a pivotal moment in the history of our sector. As we all know, that TVET college's landscape is changing. We see and we know that next year, we've already communicated the phasing out of N4 to N6, N1 to N3, it's a history now. And if I was a student, if I was you sitting here, I'll go and pass my grades. If the minister can stand here and say, please, please, please pass, how best can that be done? And as I was sitting here and the minister was introduced, I said to myself, one day when I've got an opportunity to be introduced, I also want it to be known that I'm also from a TVET college and I've got N6 in electrical engineering. But I didn't end there. I also have 2 master's degrees and one of them is MBA and a PhD. So what am I saying to you? I'm saying to you that being at a TVET college doesn't mean that it should end here. You can achieve those qualifications. We are witnessing an introduction of occupational programs. And some of our colleges have already started introducing hairdresser NQF level 4, chef NQF level 5, and next year we see many of our colleges introducing occupational programs. There and there, I beg to differ when we are told that our curriculum is outdated. Curriculum will never be outdated. If there is a new curriculum, it doesn't mean the old curriculum is outdated. And let me give you an example because I'm aging now and I aspire to buy a vintage car, and that is a carburetor car. So if I have money and I buy that car and that car needs to be fixed, who is going to fix it? It means there is still a need for people to know and fix carburetor cars. So we welcome the new occupational programs that will give our students an opportunity and trade-related experience. As SAPCO, We fully support this transition. We recognize that such significant sector reforms require robust academic debate, research engagement, collective problem solving. This is precisely where the mandate of SATVETSA comes from. This conference is therefore not only timely, but necessary. It provides a platform for us to interrogate the implications of reforms and innovative, and together to ensure that colleges remain resilient, relevant, and future fit. As I step down, as you are engaging over these coming days, may your discussions be rich, be insightful, be compelling, and let your outcome be transformative. As SABCO, we support you, we value you, and we stand by you. I thank you.
Let's do better than that. Thank you so much, Doc. By the way, without SAGPO as the backbone of all these institutions, we will not be even having these conversations here. So I think the support you, principal, give to these young people is shown. I always say, Gabateli, that the TVET sect has the most disciplined and matured student leadership. And that is, it's not because of some miracle somewhere. There's a deliberate effort from our colleges to develop these young people to what they are becoming now. And we'll have many stories that we can tell about some of the young people from TVET colleges who are doing very well in life. So we thank you. Let's give him another round of applause. So colleagues, may I ask that we go to Serengeti. So Serengeti, you go out, you turn left again. There's a place that looks like a lapa with a grass roof. Ne? It's Serengeti. Let's go and have lunch there. And a 45-minute lunch. We'll come back at 20 to 2. 25 to 2. No, 25 to 1. 1. And to our dignitaries, let's go.